Alright. Take the glasses off. We're gonna try this again. Ready? Ow. I'm gonna get this. I'm fine. Get these back on. Yo, it's me. It's me. It's TSTOTT. Baby. And I'm back with more Spider-Man reviews. Another Spider-Man review. This time for Spider-Man 2. There we go. Alright, so first complaint. I didn't say this with the first one. The first one, when I watched it last night, man, I loved it. How it fit the entire screen. But then I put this one in, and the menu was similar, it fits the entire screen, but I click play, and then it's widescreen. Why do you do this? Every movie on Blu-ray should fit the entire damn screen. I'm sick of this. I went through this with Blu-ray, or with DVD, alright? When the DVDs came out, there were two formats, full screen, widescreen. I hated the widescreen, because it didn't fit the whole screen, and they even had some of the Disney movies that came out that had a smaller widescreen. It was stupid. What's the point? You gotta have it fit the whole screen or you're not getting the full effect. Especially now that there's Blu-ray and it's an HD. The HD does not work unless it fits the whole screen. I'm just saying. Every Blu-ray fit the whole screen. You get these widescreen things. And then you get the ones who say HD, like the Batman the Animated Series or complete series of Speed Racer, but they don't. They just, well, how they do is they touch it up so it looks better, but it's still the square. No, that angers me so much. Anyway, enough of my rant. Onto the review. All right, so after the events of the first films, Peter Parker is dealing with the fact that he can't be with Mary Jane because he is Spider-Man, and he also has to deal with the fact that Harry wants to kill Spider-Man for supposedly killing his father. We also have the introduction of Otto Octavius, and I was thinking about this. They should have introduced Octavius in the last film, like they did with Dr. Connors. They should have introduced Octavius in the last film. Octavius should have been a mentor for Peter in the last film. What they could have done is after Ben's death, he goes to one of Octavius' classes and talks to Octavius and becomes a mentor to him, which goes into this one. And they could have set it up. They could have went along with the thing too. Like he goes to like a visit or something with Octavius, and Octavius tells him, "Oh, Harry Osborn has made a deal with me. We are going to do this experiment." Perfect way to keep it going, because it sets up a little more of a connection than there is in this movie. There's a connection between them, but, and I hate to keep going back to the '90s animated series, Peter was an old student. He went to like some summer camps and was taught by Octavius when he was like a science camp or something. So they had a connection, and even Octavius in the cartoon knew Peter Parker. He knew, and even when it was when it was revealed that Peter was Spider-Man, he did believe it. He's like, "No, not Peter Parker." I said, why doesn't Octavius have an accent in this? It has a little bit of an accent because it's played by a British guy, but still. For the longest time, people said this is the best Spider-Man movie, but yeah, It's better than the first one and better than the third one, but a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. Okay, like Octavius' wife was killed in an accident. It's his fault, right? They have this thing where there's this thing on the back of his neck that's destroyed, so the arms, or the octopus arms can control him. What? I don't remember that ever being a thing anywhere else, but who am I to judge? But, yeah. And he got... His wife was killed, and he mourns her at first, but then decides, screw it, I'm going to go and finish my experiment, because that's what's really important. Don't you think it would be trying to get revenge on Spider-Man? Because at least in his messed up mind, he would blame Spider-Man for what happened to his wife. Thinking, oh, if Spider-Man didn't interfere, my wife wouldn't be dead. You know what I mean? Something like that is messed up mind. But no, he just wants to finish the experiment like it needs to be done. He goes to Harry, he wants the tritium. Harry says, you give me Spider-Man, I'll give you the tritium. That happens. Harry takes off the mask, finds out it's Peter, and he's not going to let him go until Peter says he's got MJ. Then he lets him go. You know, there's a couple more things I want to rant on in this film. The first thing is, okay, Bruce Campbell has to have a cameo in each of the film. In the first one, he was the MC at the wrestling match. Here, he's the guy at the theater that won't let Peter in because he's late. Do they do that? When you go to it, I've never been to, for school and stuff, but other than that, I've never actually been to a theater showing of a play. You know, I've never been to a play outside of school stuff. Is that a thing where they won't let you in after it's already started? Because even movies aren't like that. They'll let you in after it's started. Not too far after it started, but you gotta imagine it just started, right? And he won't let him in. That's stupid, to be honest. And, like, afterwards, though, Peter also makes a mistake. After this show, he hides. Instead of waiting outside for him saying, I tried to come to the show, guy wouldn't let me in. I think he does explain it later, but he's like, guy wouldn't let me in because I was running late. And the guy wouldn't let me in. He could have explained it then, and then he sees that this is with someone else who ends up being John Jameson. And that's another thing they could have done. While it wouldn't have been accurate to the comics, it would have made sense in the continuity of this franchise. Is in a third film, or even a fourth film, in that matter, John Jameson should have been Venom. I know it's Eddie Brock, and even if they didn't cast the same guy, this guy looks like he's a decent actor. I've never seen him in anything else. But they could have recast him with someone. John Jameson, for me, growing up with the animated series, was important. He brought Venom to Earth, essentially. They went to the moon, or Mars, or whatever it was. They went into space. They got the Prometheum X. Attached to the Prometheum X was the Venom symbiote. Brought it to Earth. Which is why in the Venom movie, when they meant, he's not a big part, but they mentioned it, John Jameson. So, yeah, at least they got that part right. He had something to do with it. So I like that. But in this one, he exists only to marry Mary Jane, and that doesn't even happen. He's in a few scenes here or there. You know? And it would have made sense if they continue with the symbiote. Like, he's crushed. Like, if he shows up at the beginning of the third movie and goes off on Peter for taking Mary Jane, he gets angry. And, like, he's just angry. And so the part where Peter, in the third one, is, and actually we're talking about this in the third one, but it's connected because it's the character. The part in the third one where he's all thrashing by the bell in the bell tower and it's falling off of him. And then it should be Jameson, who's most likely drunk. Have him with a flask. be drunk, you know, and have him go off, and he becomes Venom. It's not comic accurate, but in the continuity of these three films, it would have made sense. People might have not appreciated it. Probably would have gotten angry because it's not Eddie Brock. But I think it would have been a better alternative to Topher Grace and his "My spider sense is tingling," if you know what I'm talking about. And Venom could have had a more prominent role. I know Sam Raimi didn't want to do Venom. The studio kind of pushed it on him, and you don't want to do it, fine. They pushed it on him. You got to add it in. It's a last minute thing in the third one. I understand. I'm going for this. Venom is my favorite Spider-Man villain, if not my favorite Marvel villain. So that's why it's kind of touchy for me. The third one, even though I do sort of like it, and I sort of enjoy it when I watch it, we'll get to that. This is the second one. And that's just kind of what pisses me off, is that John Jameson doesn't have much more of a role other than to date Mary Jane and not be Peter Parker, and they try to recreate the upside down kiss, which I don't at the end when she finds out it's Peter, she's like, somehow I always knew. So that's why she was doing that kiss. But it's like, if she was pining for Peter, even after the kiss, she goes to Peter. And it's like, okay, you do the Spider-Man kiss, but you don't really know he's Spider-Man, but you go to him after you do the Spider-Man kiss with your future husband. I don't get it. Let's talk about the bus scene. Or the train scene. Train scene, alright? Why does he take off his mask? Yes, it's a little bit smoldered, but he takes it off. He looks back, and there's people there. There's people looking at him. And now there's a couple dozen New Yorkers that know who he is, and that never plays into the third film at all. You don't have kids go, hey, winking at him like, hey, I know you're Spider-Man, you know. So, you could have a kid come back or something. Those two kids that they show at the end of the train scene, they can be like, hey, Peter, wink. But they don't even acknowledge it in the third one. And so they got that fat guy from The Sopranos. He's also in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. The fat guy. Tony, I don't know. But he's there. There's another actress that I couldn't figure out where she's from. Wait, I know. Scabby Abby. I just remembered. She was Scabby Abby on Smallville. It just popped in my head. Scabby Abby, Abigail, whatever. It was season 4 of Smallville. She was in that. And this, she's the blonde holding the baby, or supposed to be a baby. That's what I'm talking about. That just popped in my head. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, the train scene. Octavius comes in. He puts it on full gear and then destroys the control. Which, in real life, that ever work? Putting it all the way at the top and destroying the controls. Wouldn't destroying the controls destroy the thing completely and make it stop? Don't you think? I'm not a mechanic, so I wouldn't know. But so it goes really fast. Peter tries to use his foot first of all. I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, who do you think you are, Superman? And then, I'm like, yeah, you're not Superman. You can't do that. And he would use both of his legs, not just one. But I can see where that would cause more problems. And then he uses the web. It doesn't work at first. And he uses the same amount of web again, I think. Maybe it's a little bit more. I don't know. But and he stops it. And they pass him back. And then Octavius kidnaps him. And I like what all the New Yorkers kind of defend Spider-Man. Like, no, we're not going to let you through. And then he's just like, okay. It's like, really? Then what was the point? I mean, I understand. And this, hey, don't get me wrong. I do like this movie. For the longest time, I want to say it's still at the top of my list. But I don't know if it's the best anymore. I don't know. I don't do rankings. I thought about it, but I just don't know. I don't know about it. But it's a decent movie. The ending. And okay, so Peter's captured, Mary Jane has been captured, and it's after Harry has found out who he is. And so they're doing the experiment, and Spider-Man shows up, and somehow he sees his reflection, and he's able to, fight him, knock him down, whatever. And I'm seeing it in my head as I'm explaining it, actually, so it's kind of cool. Excuse me. So, okay, there's a part where Spider-Man's trying to pull the plug, right? And he pulls it, and the plug part is still in, but it's broken, and the thing's still going. Now, I had the sound off, but I was watching the subtitles, because I was watching something else on YouTube, but I was watching the subtitles. And I don't remember reading it where it explained, why was it still going? Was it because it was too powerful and it couldn't stop? Or did it just say because it's still plugged in, technically, then it's technically still plugged in, that's why it's still going? Because technically it's not still plugged in. It's not connected to the wall or anything else. So that's not why it should still be going. If anything, there's too much power and it can't stop. That's anything. So then, Peter has his mask off again. And Mary Jane finds out who he is. And then he tells Octavius they gotta stop it. Octavius says the only way to stop it by putting it in the river, which, I don't know if that would really work, but I'm not gonna judge it. So he dies, because apparently it's a rule you gotta kill off the villain in your Spider-Man movie. You don't really. No. You don't. Your villains don't have to die. They can go to jail. If this came out in the 60s, they would go to jail. The 1966 Batman movie, the villains went to jail. Your villains don't have to die. They can go to jail. Hello. You don't have to keep killing off your villains. That's the one thing that irks me about superhero movies, is that most of the villains died at the end of the movies. What happened to the old comic book technique? Even in the old TV shows and stuff back in the 90s, they go to jail. Superheroes aren't supposed to kill. And technically, Spider-Man has killed 3 villains in the continuity of this franchise. 4 if you count the thug that supposedly killed Uncle Ben, even though I don't know if he's actually dead or not. But I don't know. A scene I do like, though, is Jameson somehow acquires Spider-Man's suit from somewhere. I don't know, maybe someone picks it out of the trash and gives it to Jameson. He's hanging up in his office, and he said, "Oh, we need Spider-Man. I miss Spider-Man. He's the hero. He's this and that." And then Spider-Man takes the suit back. He's a thief. He's a thief. He's a menace. He's a menace. And it's like, it's what J.K. Simmons is great as JJ. Really, they pick. There's no one better, and they haven't found anyone better than him to do it. And I went back to him at the end of Far From Home. Spoilers, but yeah, they haven't found anyone better to play this role, and that's great. So yeah. Okay, so the ending has Mary Jane at the wedding. She leaves. Jameson tells them to call the caterer to cancel. Tell him not to open the caviar, because then he doesn't have to pay for it, right? And then actually we see Mary Jane, MJ, running in her wedding dress to Peter, and then Peter's got gotta go save someone. We get the line, go get him, Tiger, and then the movie ends. All in all, I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. It's better than the first one, so there's a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I do enjoy this. I'm going to watch the third one here in a little bit, and hopefully with that review I can master this spider stance thing. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Scotty Boy Rules on YouTube. Follow me at Twitter at Machka King, or just type in Scotty Boy Rules. That's my new Twitter name. And See you next time.